What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I am Crystal Ray and I am an empowerment coach and a life balancing strategist. I'm all about living that holistic, healthy lifestyle and stressing less. I'm here to give you tips and tricks and how to help you feel more empowered and just create that life that you are craving, that healthy life. So today we're going to dive into mindfulness. And what is mindfulness? So back in 2007, that's when I got my first dose of being more mindful. And it happened when I was working with a homeopathist, and he was also a psychiatrist, I believe. He really taught me how to get into meditation. And one of the things he introduced me to was Pema Chödrön. Totally butchering her name, my apologies. But I started listening to one of her audiobooks, and as time grew on, I just kept reading more and more books. So today I want to talk with you about mindfulness. What does it mean to be mindful? And I want to open you up to another book that is really beneficial. Wherever You Go, There You Are is a really good book if you're somebody who's new to meditation and new to this mindfulness lifestyle. And I do want to start this video off with an excerpt from this book because, like I said, I talk a lot about stress. I'm all about stressing less. And this one part is like so on point. It's unbelievable. So, people who come to our clinic quickly learn that stress is an inevitable part of life. While it is true that we learn by making intelligent choices not to make things worse for ourselves in certain ways, there are many things in life over which we have little or no control. Stress is part of life, part of being human, intrinsic to the human condition itself. But that does not mean that we have to be victims in the face of large forces in our lives. We can learn to work with them, understand them, find meaning in them, make critical choices, and use their energies to grow in strength, wisdom, and compassion. A willingness to embrace and work with what is lies at the core of all meditation practice. One way to envision how mindfulness works is to think of your mind as the surface of a lake or of the ocean. So this book, I highly recommend in all types of ways. If you're somebody who's looking to become more mindful, somebody who's looking to learn how to meditate, every single chapter in this book is filled with different tips. They give you suggestions. It also gives you insight as to what you're doing. It breaks it down into a way where it makes sense, as you can tell from the excerpt that I just read. And all the chapters are really small. So it's a quick, easy read. Yes, there's like a lot of pages in it, but it's definitely a really, really, really good book if you're looking to become more mindful. So I haven't yet told you what it means to be mindful. That's the whole point of this video, right? Mindfulness is a way of living. It is a way of being. It is being in the present moment. It is getting out of your mind. It is reconnecting with your body. It's becoming aware with what is. And a lot of times what will happen is, if you think about it, we have 70,000 thoughts a day, okay? 70,000 thoughts. That is a lot of things going through our mind. And what happens is we get caught up in our mind. We get caught up in the thought. We keep thinking like, you know, when you get caught up in a cycle and you have an argument in your mind or you're just talking to yourself, that is when you're caught up in your mind. You're caught up in the past, you're caught up in the future, but how often are you actually in the present moment? And so when you start becoming more mindful, you start living from the present moment more often than not. When you start living from the present moment, that's going to help reduce your stress. It's going to help reduce your anxiety. It's going to help reduce feelings of uneasiness because the only thing that exists is this moment right now. Nothing's happening in the future, nothing's in the past, like it's literally just what's going on right now. So there are a few mindfulness techniques that I absolutely love that have changed my life. One of them being paying attention to colors around you. So if I start to feel a certain type of way, or if I start having thoughts that I know are not helping me, or like if I'm starting to get caught in a loop, I will just look around me and say, this tree, wow, that's really green. That reminds me of green like grass, okay? And I'll keep thinking about the color of the tree. I might notice the blue of the orchid, okay? This blue, oh, no, it's not really a baby blue, but I wonder what crayon that one reminds me of. Oh, that blue also reminds me of something else. And I'll literally get really, really specific and I'll just paying attention to the color of an item. That brings you into the present moment because right then and there, all you're focusing on is that item and the color of it. You are in the present moment. You are focusing in on it. Get what I mean? So that's one of my favorite techniques. My second favorite technique is to feel my feet on the ground. I always go to my feet because typically my feet are always okay. My stomach technically, generally is always a mess, but my feet were pretty much fine. So when I say pay attention to your feet, I literally mean sit down and think, what do my feet feel like on the ground? What do my feet feel like in my shoes? What do my feet feel like? Notice how heavy they are. Notice how secure they are. Notice how safe and stable they are. Once you do that, once you recognize that, okay, my feet are fine, you can either go into a body scan and scan every single other body part in your body and recognize, all right, it's okay. When you do that, that's gonna also help you get mindful. It's gonna help you become aware of how your body's feeling. It's gonna also help de-escalate you if you're feeling anxious or stressful or anything like that, because you're gonna start to realize, all right, my body's cool. And if your heart is racing, the body scans, those are clutch. So when it comes to being mindful and living this mindful mentality, another thing that you can do that's a really good starter point is washing dishes by hand. And when you're washing the dishes, become utterly aware of how the water feels running on your hand, how the soap feels, and just really pay attention to what it is that you're doing. Like, be in the present moment, be in that process. What happens is when we become mindful and when we live in the present moment, our thoughts start to die down and we don't hear them as much. Instead, we start to get this kind of empty mind feeling, silence, a peacefulness. And really, the only thing we're thinking about is what is in front of us, like what is happening in that moment. That's it. Like, we don't see anything beyond that. And to me, this is one of the most addicting feelings that you can have, which is why I always strive to live a much more mindful life, because it's like all I'm doing is living in that present moment. That's it. Like, there's nothing else. And it takes me out of worry. It takes me out of fear. It takes me out of so many other emotions. And it just feels absolutely amazing. Just know that you can kind of live in a walking meditative state. And that's what mindfulness is. It's about walking around being fully present, being fully aware, acknowledging what's going on inside of you, and just being able to observe what's going on outside of you. It's coming from this contemplative state. So this book, Wherever You Go, There You Are, it is a wonderful introduction if you're somebody who's looking to learn how to become more mindful and live in this type of environment. Also, you're gonna see your life change when you become more mindful. You're gonna recognize that things that once bothered you may not bother you anymore. You're not necessarily going to care about certain things in the same type of way. It's really gonna be like, okay, does it really matter? Your mind is going to be changing and feeling in the present moment. You're going to have a better sense of just being more grounded, being centered, and feeling more confident and comfortable. It's about sitting back and enjoying life and being in life rather than watching life go by. And think about it this way. It's the difference of you being at an event and the whole time while you're at the event, you're recording it on your phone because you want to capture it on your phone, versus actually being at the event and just watching it through your eyes. If you could tell the difference, like when you're looking at it through your phone, you're still seeing it through a different lens and actually paying attention to it in that moment. So being mindful, it's really about learning how to live life right now and being present and actually enjoying those around you. And it's just so cool. Mindfulness helps you to just enjoy the moment you are in, enjoy your life right now. Be in it, observe it, feel it, experience it. That's what mindfulness is all about. And it's just a way of living. It's a way of life. And to me, there's nothing more powerful. So this is just a little taste of what mindfulness is. Of course, on my channel, I will continue to keep talking about it because it is something that is so important. It's something that is a staple in my life. It's something that I do on a daily basis. So if you're somebody who's new to living a mindful lifestyle, like, let me know in the comments what you think about this, what your struggles are, what do you wish you could learn more about. I would love to hear from you. And if this video helped you, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another video. And until next time, guys, I'll talk to you then. Bye.